All right. Welcome everyone to the quarter and semifinals live stream. I know last week we had hinted at the fact that I would be running a little two streams today, doing the Phalanx division as well as they've finished up theirs. However, I thought it would be better if we showcased both of the finales in one fell swoop. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the final matches next week for both Phalanx and Hoplite division. Get your singles action, get your doubles action. Be a good time. See who wins both of both, you know? But for now, let's get into the singles division and start with our quarterfinals. Make sure everything is up and running properly on my end. Everything looks like it should be. All right. So, first up for our... actually, let me pull up. I want to see what seed everyone is. I don't remember exactly what seed everyone is. Okay, so this match is lmao Dude and the Amazing Monkey Dory is at the 4th seed. And he chose Nick with the Lansing Eludi Colos at number 5 to be his opponent. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what they got. We've got a rather bulky team from lmao Dude versus the... I mean, Gritty Nick still has bulk, but I mean, it's still a polar opposite. Like, his team is way more offensive. Interesting. All right, let's get into it. Canyon versus Araquanid. Eats a Sludge Bomb. Out goes Sticky Web. Switcheroo there. Cleaver comes out. Nice little double pivot. Rapid spin to clear those. Yeah, you know what I meant. Even though I yawned. You knew what I was talking about. Uxie gets burned. Doesn't give two flying fucks about that, though. Out comes Hatterene. Okay, screens. Okay. Cleaver don't give two fucks about no screens. Canyon tanks that. Down goes the bug. Ooh, Lando gets burned. Takes fuck off from that U-turn. Very nice. Does a good job of taking that steam eruption. Like, obviously it hits neutral, but Canyon does not hit lightly. See another U-turn from the Lando. Can't burn what's already burned there, buddy. Setting up Reflect this time, so it is double screens. Goes for a D-Dance to try to punch through. Out comes Stealth Rock. We got hazards up on both sides again. Lando comes back out. Takes a decent chunk of damage. Does mitigate that. Ooh, goes for a double Dragon Dance. Very nice. Bulwark to protect itself. Get some more HP back from the lefties. Very nice. And Heat Crash to seal the deal. Down goes Lando. Dragapult comes out, takes some stones. Breaking Swipe. Ooh! Ooh! Oh, lives at 4%! Oh no! Does he have Shadow Sneak? No, he switches. Obviously immune, good switch. Excuse me. Text through, nice. Does he crash kill him? Wait a minute. I thought he crash had recoil. Am I tripping? I gotta be tripping, right? I thought he crash had recoil. Oh no, it's Flare Blitz I'm thinking of. Heat Crash is dependent on weight. Duh. Duh, you dingus. Lives the close combat. God damn. This thing ain't dying. Text through the step. Nice. Gets greedy for another Dragon Dance. Obviously, he can tank it with that burn on the clock. Goes for another Bulwark to heal up. And deny the spin. Very nice. And Breaking Swipe seals the deal. I do believe this is a setup. Yeah, I don't think much is getting through this. Nope. And there we have it, folks. AMLO Dude goes on to semi-finals with a sweep from Gouging Fire. I mean, what else is to be expected from this damn thing, right? It just comes in and it just slaps things silly. So, very well done. Thank you for coming out this season, Nick. It was a pleasure watching you battle. I don't think we fought at all, so I don't think, yeah, no, we didn't fight. But yeah, appreciate you coming out, sir, and look forward to seeing what you do in future seasons. Without further ado, let's move on to round 2. Hey, that rhymed. And I do kind of want to see if I can try to do these in reverse seed order. So next up, we'll do Eternum with the Cerulean Cavesenians at the number 3 seed. He chose Wa with the Ottawara Cavaliers for his matchup into the semis. And got a pretty standard Girl Boss Gatekeep Gaslight. I said that not in the right order, but it's fine. Team from Eternum here. This Garganackle has been a shining star on his team since he drafted it. Man, I must be tired or something. And then we have a good little balanced offensive team coming here from WoW. Got some bulk. Yeah, it's a good balanced team. Nice support here from the Comfey and bulk from the Clodsire. As we've seen, the Sasuian Decidueye also has a good chunk of bulk, leaving the bulk of the offense coming from Thunderous, Sizor, and Samurott. Let's see what we got. Lawson's out Samurott. We got Le Fish from Eternum. Switches out to the Horny Jail Warden, Tinkaton. Takes a lot of damage from that flip turn. Volt Switch bringing it down to near half health. Out comes Sizor. Tanks that fucking Ice Hammer. Lowers the speed. Well done. Close combat. Lives at 1. Which costs Sizor its Assault Vest. Down goes Tinkaton. Wa gets a free pivot. Out comes Hammerot. Against, ooh, Regieleki. Yeah, good swap there from Wa. Lucky going for screens. Defog to clear him away. Very nice. This Garganackle has proven troublesome. Let's see how he deals with it. Rapid spin coming out of the Regieleki this turn, I reckon? Yep. Earthquake to kill it, though. Clodsire kills Regieleki. Very nice. Samurott versus the fish. Good little read there. It takes that Psychic. Down goes Sizor. Decent amount of bulk. Oh, I guess it's not super effective because water resists. Whew. The Draining Kiss for 1% HP is crazy. Takes that Ice Punch. Gets a little hungry, has a midnight snack, says, citrus berry sounds good. Oh, hey, Wah. Yes, it is your match. Got another layer of T-Spikes there. Or I guess that's the first layer of T-Spikes, since the other one's got Rapid Spun away. But we do have T-Spikes and regular spikes. Down goes the bird. It's a 3v3 against 3 very scary mons that Wah has to chip through. Especially that fucking Garganackle. Out comes Chi-Yu, gets poisoned and takes some chip. Swamps to Thundurus, takes a good chunk of damage from those. Spikes lives at 1%. Down goes Thundurus. Can Clodsire and Comfey do it? Ooh, Calm Mind from the Comfey, okay. Nice job keeping that hidden in the back. Encores into the fucking recover. Ooh. Goes for another Calm Mind here, I reckon. Yup. What up, Amlo? Comfey gets Salt Cured. Comfey has double special attack and double special defense, though. Oh, here comes Guard, or what? Not Guard. Yeah, that thing. Dies to a Draining Kiss. And I do believe Comfey has this in the bag. Clodsire gets Salt Cured. Curious. Oh, yeah, I guess he should stall out here. Yeah. He stopped trying. Chunky Earthquake. And down goes Garganackle. Clodsire and Comfey versus Chi-Yu, Garganackle, and Iron Valiant. That was wild. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, the full setup makes sense. I'm just curious why you didn't swap in, or why you swapped out of Comfey. You had the Encore Calm Mind Draining Kiss to secure it as well. I guess in the offset chance that he was running curse shenanigans, that makes sense. Gotta preserve the KD. All right. And there we have it. Wah. His last move was protect. That wasn't revealed. That makes sense. There we have it. Wah progressing into quarterfinals. Up next should be this one. We got Voids at the number 2 spot, and he chose TBL for his opponent going into the quarterfinals. Voids with the Limber Luchadors and TBL with the Norman Pelipers. We got a very, very offensive team coming out of Voids here, with the exception of, I would say with the exception of Klefki, but we have seen Klefki do some shenanigans where it was pure offense earlier on in the season, so that was pretty crazy. And a decently balanced team here from TBL. You got some hazards with the this motherfucker Skarmory. Got Quagsire for bulk. Sandy Shocks isn't without bulk either. Goldango has a good chunk of bulk, but he's mostly offense. And then we have pure offense here in the form of Latios and Weavile. Decently balanced team here out of TBL against, I would say, a rather offensive team from Boofy Poof, with the exception of possibly Klefki and definitely Mandibuzz. Latios opens against Azelf. Fat Draco Meteor, bringing it down to Sash. Knockoff gets rid of the Choice Scarf. Latios is now slow. Skarmory also gets knocked off, but does... Okay. So, this was some funny little tech. With how the priority of the moves worked, the Azelf's knockoff hit Skarmory, right? But in response to the Skarmory taking damage, Rocky Helmet procced, leaving the Azelf dead before the item could get knocked off. That shit was hot. I didn't know that that's how that synapse worked, but that was fucking cool. Well, I knew that for Rapid Spin, and I guess like it should have, made sense, obviously, right? Chunky Energy Ball. Sandy Shock's living it. Does lose his special defense, though. Pivots out after setting up screen. Goldango goes up. Is going to tank a Meteor Beam. Yeah, very nice. Akaberry Goldango. Hell yeah. Does set up a nasty plot. Doesn't matter. No. Goes down to the Fire Dance through screens. Double special attack. You really can't do much there. Moth lives the knockoff. Weavile dies to Fiery Dance. I do believe Moth is set up to win here. Yep. Dazzling Gleam kills that. Energy Ball kills that. And any fire move kills the Skarmory. Voids just fucking chows through TBL. That was a 12-turn match. Wild. Yeah, that was a 2v6 pretty much, unfortunately. That Iron Moth just had nothing to do, or everything to do, I guess, for how I was trying to word that was backwards. TBL had nothing to do against that Iron Moth. That was pretty sad. Moth plus Dragon type is a great combo for draft. Yeah. Yeah, that checks. Some good synergies there too. Moth just has so much coverage. They gave some of these Paradox Mons way too much coverage, man. And there we have it. Boofy poof. Mr. Voids moves on to semifinals. Now we have our last matchup of the quarterfinals. We've got the number 1 seed, Tim in the Real Luno Azoro, against Sukunam in the Las Vegas Raikou. Sukunam was the number 8 seed, but Tim really, really wanted this rematch. Let's see, what do we got from Sukunam? Well, again, I would say this is more of a defensive team than anything else. It does lack some general offensive capabilities. Great Tusk obviously can do damage, but it's mostly it's known for its bulk. Greninja obviously is the offensive douchebaggery himself. Clefable is bulky. Moltres is Moltres. Moltres can do damage, but he's mostly there to tank. Same with Goodra. The Sinistra also more of a tech mon than either an offense or a defensive mon. So I think Sukunam's going to have to do a lot of work. Granted, he does have a lot of bulk that Tim's team does have to chew through. Tim's team is very offensive, with the exception here of Slowking and the pseudo-tank Iron Hands. Iron Hands obviously is hard to kill, but also claps back pretty fat. Get it? Claps back. Out comes Clefable against Meowscarada. Meowscarada goes for the Protein U-turn. Does a good chunk of damage. Yeah, I know it has 125 special attack. Yes, he can do damage, but it's not his primary role most of the time. You're doing stall-y shenanigans with Moltres. The biggest bird. Lands a Willow. Unfortunately, not an ideal target for the Willow. Satan versus... Everything is Satan to you, Amlo. There we go. Little whirlwind action. Unfortunately, not a good matchup, but I think he stayed in. He stayed in against the Iron Hands. Wild. Switches out. Which goes for the Willow again, unfortunately. Out comes Goodra. Immunity, there we go. Good read. I don't know if that was so much of a read, actually, as much as it was him trying to get that knockoff out there. Goodra versus Hands. Someone's going to catch him. That was a good read. Oh, there we go. There is the offensive Sinistra. Sets up a Calm Mind. Goes for another Calm Mind. Unfortunately, it gets Toxic, so he's not going to sweep for too long. Granted, this motherfucker does have, what's that move? That one move. Yep. 63% on a resist. Like, with double special attack, Terrifier, I guess that makes sense, but Cyclozar's not known for its tankiness. U-turn doing minimal damage. Back out to the... Ooh. Ooh, doesn't do a whole lot, no. Terra Blast to kill it, very nice. 17 turns and we finally have a death. What can the frog do? The frog says, nope, I'm out. Out comes Great Tusk. Zen Headbutt Tusk is interesting. Does he go for it again? Yep. Oh, no, he does. He goes for close combat. Kills the cat. Very nice. Down goes the tusk to the ogre. Ooh. Ogre taking body after body. Back to back. A wet noodle moment. Resisted crit does a good chunk of damage into that Gudra. Super powered. Brings it down to 5. What can Gudra do here? Go for body press? No, goes for Draco. Okay. Yeah, that checks, I guess. Cyclozar comes out. Dies. Yeah, Gudra dies to anything. Good little positioning there from Tim. Just enough to kill the Gudra and get rid of those hazards. Fable goes for a wish. Out comes Sinistra. Very nice. Heals itself up from the wish. Yep, boom. Unfortunately, the Sinistra is Terra-fired. Ooh, he pivots out. Okay. Back out to the Clefable. Goes for the U-turn. The big smash. Misses the T-wave. Unfortunate. Is this a Cloister sweep from here on out? Icicle Spear. Needs to hit all 5. Does hit all 5. Alright, skill link. Duh. 1, 2, 3. And Rock Blaster. Terra Grass. Drill Run misses. Machagacha does a good chunk of damage. God damn. Draw on lands. That's a dead Sinistra. And there we have it. Tim progresses to semifinals. Thank you to everyone who participated this season and made it or did not make it to the semis. You still made playoffs. Very much appreciated for your guys' effort, and I want to say that I appreciate the fact that you guys stuck around, got this far, and you did great. You did good. Making it to playoffs is not that easy. Also, you know, I do want to point out that WA shouldn't even be in playoffs. We had to kick out Stoin because he fell off the face of the earth. But I'm really glad WA got to come out and play because WA is going into semifinals. All right. Now, semifinals, we do things... English. English is hard. Actually, before I get too deep into the un-Englishing, I'm going to go grab a water because your boy kind of thirsty. I'm going to let you stare at this cloister. All right, I hope you guys got a good, long, hard look at this cloister, because I'm getting tired of looking at his fucking face. All right, so we're getting into semifinals. And each season, I do run a gimmick. I'm probably at some point going to have to start duplicating gimmicks, but I'm going to try to run as many unique ones as I can and figuring out which ones people like, which ones people don't like. Last season, we did a theft thing where you could steal someone's Pokemon. This time, we're doing what I called the Crown Jewels, where you get to steal a Terra type. Now, each captain has at most 3 Terra types. With the Crown Jewel gimmick, you are allowed to steal 1 Terra type from your quarterfinalist opponent and you can give it to one of your Terra captains. That way you have more options, giving you 4 Terra types for one of your captains. So that was the gimmick that we ran for this season. Yeah, we're going to see how it plays out. And then 4 semifinals. It is a best of 3. And there's going to be, obviously you guys aren't going to see this in the video itself, but during the in between matches, because it's a best of 3, opponents are allowed to make edits to their team. The amount of edits and what they can edit has been limited. I won't bore you guys with the details, but if you it's limited in the fact that you can't do a complete overhaul. At the very least, you have to keep your same 6 Pokemon, and you can make a couple of tweaks to each Pokemon. But once you bring that 6, that is the 6 that you are locked into. So it at least allows for, unfortunately, if you bring the wrong 6, you can try to remediate the situation by changing up some moves, some abilities, an item or 2, whatever you might need to do to try to pull through and achieve the victory. All right, so getting into it, our first match, we've got Voids. I've already said his team name. It's the Limber Luchadors versus AMLO Dude and the Amazing Monkey Dories, vying out for that coveted final spot. Match 1, best of 3. Let's get into it. Out comes Weezing against a Rillaboom. Good lead there for AMLO. Switches into the Moth. Moth can't be toxic. Very nice. Switches into Cleavor. Cleavor does not like that Fire Dance. Unfortunately, the Moth gets set up, but he does switch out. Stony Axe coming through, dealing a good chunk of damage to the Klefki, getting up the rocks. Out comes Gouging Fire. Unfortunately, Fire does get T-waved. Here comes Mandibuzz. Gouging Fire goes for a Dragon Dance. Foul Play doing a good chunk of damage. Foul Play does burn the Mandibuzz. Well, Burning Bulwark burns the Mandibuzz, but Foul Play does make contact, is what I was trying to get at. Goes for another Dragon Dance. Goes for Foul Play. Does die. I wonder if he was trying to predict the Roost there? Giraffe versus Bull Buffalo. Whirlwind. He says, "No, motherfucker, get back here. I have business with you." Out comes Mandibuzz. Ruination, bring it down to 7%. Takes 6% from burn, lives at the 1. Does go for Roost. Really good position there for Voids. Mandibuzz comes back out. Does go for another Ruination, bringing it down. Takes some chip damage from the burn. Goes for a Defog. Clears those hazards. Brings back the keys. Says, "Look, sir, you need to put your keys in the bowl." Out comes Weezing. Weezing does get seeded. Means Rillaboom's getting double heals in that terrain. Unfortunately, Weezing is seeing... Oh, I guess Weezing has Neutralizing Gas, not Levitate, so I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. He's also seeing the heals. Mitigating that Leech Seed damage is pretty nice. Earth Power from the Jugulus. Critical hits the Iron Moth, even though it really didn't need to. Back to the Rotom. Mandibuzz does go for another Roost. Volt switches, doing good damage to the Mandibuzz. Back out to the Weezing. Nice read there. Really good coverage from the Weezing here, right? Like, if he clicks Sludge Bomb into anything except for the Clef Key, it's doing good damage. And outside of Raging Bolt, the setting up of the Sun for him was just brutal. Oof, yeah. Raging Bolt does go for the Terra, going Fairy. Good Terra Blast in a Ting Lu. That thing is a hard thing to kill, does it? In 2 hits. Out comes the Jugs. Terra Ground. Air Slash. Doesn't get the flinch, but it does live a Terra Blast after Terra. Goes for another... Ah, yes, we can see the server restarting in chat. How lovely. Weezing is pretty much free to click anything it wants here. Yep, good Sludge Bomb. Terra Ground for T-Clap makes sense. I figured it was that, but also to mitigate the damage that you would take from the Terra Blast and the opposite chance that he goes for that too. That's how I took that play. But T-Clap makes sense. Down goes Weezing to Hawlucha. Jugs hits Air Slash. Outspeeds the unburdened Hawlucha. And unfortunately, Mandibuzz can't do fuck all to the Jugs. There we have it. Amlodude takes game number 1. Going into game 2, let's see if they made any changes or anything to alleviate the situation. Boofy Poof sends out Iron Moth. We got another Weezing from Amlo. Back out to Ting Lu. Eats a Fiery Dance. Oh, and Burden didn't... That's fucking cool. I didn't realize that. I figured it would come into effect after the fact. I didn't realize it had to see the item go away. That's crazy. A little bit of pivot here, pivot there, everywhere a pivot there. Super effective U-turn. Wow! Fucking Ruinations do not want to land. Good little switch there. Terra Blast again into the Ting Lu. Another Ruination miss. Nope. Can't Toxic the Iron Moth. Void's making some really good reads here. Also getting a little bit lucky from the God damn, down goes the fucking Gouging Fire. Out comes Mandibuzz. Regulus U-turns. Rotom goes for Electro Web. That didn't get revealed last set, and I don't think he made changes to the Rotom. In fact, I actually don't think either of them made any changes to their team. Cleaver versus Moth. Moth switches out. Klefki gets axed to the face. Keys versus washing machine. Keys gets burned. Whatever you say, Emma. Whatever you say. Klefki lands, or what? Rotom lands a Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump succeeding where Ruination couldn't. Rotom lands another Hydro Pump. Klefki goes for Sunny Day. Switches it up. Says, fuck it, I don't know if I can hit all three. And Electro Web to kill the Keys. Ooh, Rotom lives an Energy Ball from the Iron Moth. Hits a good Volt Switch. Nice crit. Brings out Cleavor. Iron Moth says, nope, I'm out of here. Mandibuzz goes down to Stone Axe. Is that what it was? He took Ting Lu's glasses? That makes sense. Sacks the Rotom here. Really decent play. Bringing in a Flesh Cleavor. Stone Axe, bringing it down to 9%, unfortunately. Thunderbolt does kill the bug. And Jugulis kills the Bolt. And the Moth. And I think this is a Jugulis sweep. No? Switches out. Okay. Again, Hawlucha doesn't get the Unburden because of the good fucking read. That haze was crazy. Does go for another Swords Dance. Lands the Toxic. Out comes Ting Lu. Dies to Acrobatics. Jugulis comes in and Hawlucha goes down to a critical hit Air Slash. Switches into Weezing. Grassy Glide does nothing, even with a crit. I think Weezing takes it from here. Sludge Bomb, yep. One more Sludge Bomb will seal the deal. And Jugs comes out to seal the deal. Good read there. At this point, Amlo's just playing with him. Lives the Stomping Tantrum, fires off a Sludge Bomb, down goes Rillaboom, down goes Voids. All right. Amlo, congratulations. You are going into the finals. Unfortunately, though, for Voids, this is not all for the season. We do still have one more matchup. He will be running a consolation match against whoever loses the next set to see who gets third place. After all, our league is designed after, you know, the Greek thing we got going on. The Olympics are a Greek thing. You got to get a podium finish. Gold, silver, bronze. So, we're going to see if we're going to see who Voids is fighting during his consolation match, and we're going to see who can get the bronze medal. We'll do that next week, because I did not do the Phalanx finals today, so we're going to get a little double feature. All right. Next up, first match. Tim, number 1 seed on the Rio Luna Zoro against Wa, the number 9 seed, vying out for finals. I won't tell you right now, I ain't gonna spoil shit, but this fucking set was crazy. I'm glad I did this one last. No offense to Voids versus Amlo. Your guys' set was still really good. But this set was fucking wild. So this is I had so much fun watching this set. I have fun watching all of them, but this one had me on the edge of my toes. I was like, man, who's gonna take it? What are we doing? This is the showcase of 2 phenomenal trainers just fucking duking it out, fighting with all of their heart to see who can make it to the finals. And we couldn't have asked for a better quarterfinal or a semifinals match. This was fucking awesome. I don't even, yeah. The teams speak for themselves. I've already made comments about Toxic Wa's teams prior. Granted, he did switch things up a lot from his quarterfinals match. We see Zoroark instead of Quagsire. Not Quagsire, Clodsire. Was it Clods? No. The fuck am I thinking of? Yeah, it was Clodsire. Yeah, and then we see Barrascuda instead of Comfey. So a little more going into the offensive here, which you needed against Tim's team. Tim's team is fucking offensive offense. You need things dead, and you need things dead fast. First match without Clodsire, that's crazy. I mean, old reliable is old reliable. We see a Hammerot lead against Meowscarada. Not ideal. Unfortunately, down goes the Hammerot. Rough turn 1. Thundurus sets up Nasty Plot. Goes for immediately for the Terra Flying. Fires off a chunky Terra Blast. Does get Toxic, which is not fun for your little setup sweepers here. Which is what Thundurus looked like he wanted to do with that Nasty Plot. And goes for an Agility. Good agility on that Protect, though. Out comes Iron Hands. Takes a lot of damage from that Terra Blast. Unfortunately, Fake Out does a lot of damage. So, which is really good read there from Tim, because I guarantee you, had anything else come out, it would have died. So he needed to get that flinch there, that way he could eliminate the amount of time that Thundurus spent on the field. Good planning there from Tim. Flip turn into Scizor. Misses the T-Wave. Huge for Wa. Goes for Protect. Denies the U-turn. Does he go for U-turn again? Yes, he does. Doing a good chunk of damage. That's got to be Banded. Misses another T-Wave. Goes for Protect. Says, no, you can't knock off my shit. Even though I think it already did get knocked off. Oh. It's still there. Does knock off the Choice Scarf. Slowing down that Meowscarada is kind of huge. U-turn into Scizor. That wasn't Banded? God damn. Oh, right. Occaberry. Right. I forgot about that because it just died even with the Occaberry. That was a fat U-turn. Close combat to kill the Cyclizar. Close combat to kill the Meow. The fish putting in work. Good read there. I don't know if that was like a read on the prospect of Terra, or just to get the fuck out of Dodge, but that worked very well into your favor. Liquidation kills there. Flip turn doing a good chunk of damage there. Ooh, Desi gets Toxicked. and knock off to kill. Yeah. Slowking. Oh, that makes sense. Did the mirror proc at all? Well, don't answer that. We'll see. Ooh, some spicy feather dance tech. Let's go. Fish versus Scorpion. Scorpion lives. Also, heavy duty boots Fish, which I thought was crazy. It mattered with the toxic. And liquidation. Actually, I guess it didn't matter in this instance, but when you're taking toxic damage from fucking Gliscor like that. So, our first match came down to a 1v1. Turn 29. So that was a good match. Toxicosis takes game 1. Going into game 2. See a Meow lead. Wa mixes it up this one with a Scizor lead. That makes sense. Desi gets flinched, unfortunately. Does knock off the Ass Vest. Ass Vest. Fat Decidueye. Sash on the Cyclizar. I don't think we had that last matchup. Or, I don't think it... No, it took damage beforehand, so we wouldn't have known. Real Owl for sure. Wa's been running a tanky Decidueye most of the season, and it's proved very beneficial. So, Substitute gets a Nasty Plot up behind the Substitute. Goes for the agility. And Wa did get rid of the Aqua Berry on Scizor in favor of a Choice Scarf. Because we saw the Aqua Berry did not prevent the damage that he wanted from the overheat. Goes for the Terra. Terra Blast. Critical hit. Kills Iron Hands. Fortunately, I think that's a Dead Thunderous. That is a Dead Thunderous. Defog to clear the hazards. Very nice. Back out to the Hammerot. Fires off another round of Stealth Rocks. Goes for Protect. Ceaseless Edge didn't miss, but it didn't connect. There we go. Ceaseless Edge up. Unfortunately, Hammerot gets Toxicked. Such exciting gameplay from Gliscor. It's really, just truly so exciting. He's such a good mod, but he's also like so boring. I say that with love because I love Gliscor. Fish against Slowking. Slowking takes minimal damage from that flip turn. Nothing a good regenerator can't get rid of. Ceaseless Edge lands, sets up another layer of spikes. Goes for double protect. Interesting. No Hisuian Zoroark yet, ammo. Down goes the Slowking to the fish. Meow comes out. Desi comes back. Protect fails. Does it again. Rescue says liquidation. Real back and forth here. Nice crit. Back out to Desi. Tanks an Earthquake. Very back and forth. Oh, there's the Cloyster. Terra Grass. Lives the close combat. Very nice. Fires off a Terra Blast. Down goes the fish. Terra Blast, Terra Grass. Bing, bing. Down goes Decidueye. No, Charcoal, I'm doing the finals for both leagues at the same time. I feel like it'd just be a lot better to do a double feature. All right. Down goes Toxicosis, which means we get a game 3. We do love game 3s. Game 3 hype. 1-1. All right. Last match. This will determine who is facing Amlo Dude in the finals.